Thank you all for being here. My name is BK Broiler, and I'll be your DJ for the night. Thank you again for coming to the alley. And now, to introduce your hostess with the mostest, some say he was born in an alley, others say the alley grew around him. This is your host, Lars Classington.
Oh yeah! Welcome to the alley. It is Friday, September 17th, and we're fucking doing it tonight. Congratulations to all of you for making one hell of a life decision. Everything that has happened in your life, every decision you've made, every book you've read, every choice you've made, you gotta uncross your arms. We gotta uncross. There you go. Everything you've done has led you to tonight in the alley. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. You're doing it. Yeah, he's ready. Appropriate reaction, sir. Appropriate reaction. Thank you. One more time for BK Broiler, the DJ. DJ Spotify, up and down the dial, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Well, thank you for your patience. Thank you for coming here. I am your host, Lars, tonight. You can call me Captain Lars. I'm the proprietor of this alley right here, which, by the way, is hasn't always been known as Comedy Alley. Previously, this was known as one of the most unfunny alleys in the land. Yeah, this was just a horrific, the number one word people used was drab. They'd be like, yeah, what did you just say? You were like, ooh, yeah, ooh. And then we spritzed it up. And if you're wondering, how do we change an alley and turn it into a comedy alley? It's mostly umbrellas. Give it up for the umbrellas. We have 9 umbrellas here. 9 umbrellas. Anyone else ever been to the Dollarama and walked up with a handful of multicolored umbrellas, 9 of them? You've done that before? Wow. Under what context? Do you also own an alley? And you're like, we need to spritz up this drab alley with 9 multicolored. There's actually only 8 because I lost one. I think one blew away, which makes me sad. How did you buy 9 umbrellas? Or were you just playing along?
No, I wasn't playing along. It was for a music festival.
It was.
We bought one little umbrellas.
It was for I'm going to fill you guys in if you're wondering what she's saying. It was for a music festival, and you bought a bunch of little umbrellas. Fucking right. You and me know how to throw a fucking party, right? What's your name? Emily. Give it up for Emily right here. But just, by the way, by the end of the show, if you're wondering, in a venue this small here, by the end of the show, I'm going to know everyone's names. You're going to know, like, if you guys don't know each other, you're going to be rolling in a crew tonight. Everyone exchange Instagrams right now. You guys, like, I'm going to have nicknames for all of you. Emily? Emmers?
Yeah.
MC Umbrella? What? Give it up for Emmers here. That's the first nickname. Yeah. When I'm up here, it's going to be a lot of me telling you guys things like what to do. I'm in charge. So if I'm going to be like, do this for Emily, you guys got to, what do you do? Yeah, you fucking do it. What's your captain to that table right there? What's your name? Amy, you were out getting booze earlier, weren't you? You're the booze lady? Oh, well, yeah. How many? You got enough there. What'd you get? You'll be fine. One more name. One more time. Your name? Amy. All right. Let me think. How about Amy the amazing Amy? Amazing Amy. She brought the booze. And got us all so drunk. I once was lost, but then Amy brought us a bunch of booze in a weird fucked up alley with 9 umbrellas. And now it's time for the He does it all, ladies and gentlemen. What else can he do? If anyone's wondering, if you're like, wow, this guy right here, what a performer. He's got a voice. He can move. He can dance. He can just shake it out. This one's called the wiggle, ladies and gentlemen. This one's called the jellyfish right here. I can do it all. It's because I've studied with the best. I went to you're probably wondering, like, I'm sure that guy went to one of the most world-renowned performance arts schools ever. And the answer is yes, I did. You're looking at Lars, a 4-year grad of Julie's Yard. Yes. Anyone else? Do we have any other Julie's Yard alumnus in the room? Anyone in the back? You've been to Julie's Yard, fucking right. Yeah, what's your name again? James. I remember seeing you hop over the fence. It was like my turn, and then I would hop over the fence, and I'd be like, who's that? Well, that was James. He has class earlier than you. Welcome. Yes, I did go to Julie's Yard every Sunday, once a week. She taught me everything I know. One of the things that you do when you go to a fantastic performance art school, I was given the task, I had to master one impression. So I'm a master of one singular impression. You guys want to see what I learned at Julie's Yard? Yes, sir. Okay, yes, you don't need to. Are you kidding me? He just called me yes, sir. I fucking appreciate it, but I really appreciate that. But look at me. I'm literally wearing a button that has my own face on it right now. I don't know if that's a guy that you call. I have Star Wars socks on right now. That's probably the first time you ever said yes, sir, to someone wearing Star Wars socks. But I appreciate you. Actually, you know what? Call me sir, everyone. Everyone call me sir. You guys, no, don't. Sir, Lars, sir. Yeah. In this weird fucking alley. What was I saying? Someone remind me. I was on an epic rant. Oh, my one impression. So, ladies and gentlemen, Lars Classington, Julie's Yard trained here in this alley for the first time, will unveil my impression of a chicken. Impression of a seal. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, this is my impression of a chicken. Impression of a seal. I need absolute silence. This is very dangerous. Blacked out. That was my impression of a chicken's impression of a seal. Yeah, takes a lot out of me. It was 4 years of study to get to that. I love. Give it up for your name, sir. James as well. What? Who else was James?
First name James, last name as well.
Oh, right, James and James. Thank you. I needed that. I'm like, who the fuck is James? Who the fuck is James? All right, you're James number 1. You're James number 2, and. I appreciate James was the first. I think he was the first one to realize. Is there anyone still in the alley right now who doesn't know what the fuck just happened for 2 minutes? Because the nice thing when I unveil that impression for the first time, there's always someone right away who's like, "Oh, seal! It's the seal." And then you see them look at the table to their person sitting next to them, and they're like, "What the fuck? Seal! The song Seal from Batman. Yeah, Seal." And then I get to see the wave. Wash over all of you in an alley and be like, oh, he's just gonna keep going. He's gonna do the whole song, and that's what I do. Thank you guys. Thank you. Hey, Boozy Amy, you guys good back there? Yeah, appropriate. Sorry. Don't let me put you in fucking alley detention. I can do that tonight. All right. You guys good? So here's what we do every single week. I'm the host. Every Friday, Saturday, we do these shows, and then we offer up to you for your blue. What was I going to say? I was going to say viewing pleasure, and I said bluing pleasure, which doesn't make sense. So I'm going to say it again. Viewing pleasure. We have 4 pro comedians, people who have done Just for Laughs, JFL 42. You've seen them on all kinds of television shows. The caliber of people I'm telling you you're going to see tonight in this fucking alley. is here's the best way to describe it. They've done everything they can do in Canadian entertainment except leave the country. That's next step. All of them have vision boards at home, and it's other cities in other countries because they want to get out of here. And think about how insane that is. Generally, Canada is a fucking great place to live. And there's a ton of Canadian entertainers that would rather go to LA than here. And guess what? LA is on fucking fire. You want to know how fucked up you got to be? A situation's got to be if you're like, yeah, I'd rather go to someplace currently on fire. But with your help, ladies and gentlemen, with your help, you guys in this alley can convince these performers not to go to somewhere that's currently on fire and also filled with weird Illuminati pedophilic type people. Tell them don't go there. You don't need to go there. You can just stay in fucking alleys and have the night of your life. You guys ready to have the night of your life? Yeah. You know what I guarantee all of you? I guarantee all of you this is the best night you've ever had in an alley ever. 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 Anyone else? You guys had, I mean, you guys in the back, you had a few good nights in an alley? Couple, right? We'll see where this goes. All right. We've got to let the viewers at home, here's the deal. Viewers at home, stick around. We're live streaming this. And at the end, there's so much that you guys don't even know is going to happen. A ton of shit's going to happen tonight. You're going to have all these comedians. And later, because this is Canadian entertainment, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? There is prizes. Yeah. Yeah, prizes. Some of them, I'm going to let a cat out of a bag. I have a big old bag of cats back here, and I'm going to let them out at the beginning of the show. I'd be fucked if I had 2 bags of like 30 cats and just let them out in this alley. I'd be fucked up right now. Metaphorical cats. I'm going to let the cats out of the bag. Every one of you tonight is going home courtesy of Dreamy Beauty Bar, which is right in there, our neighbors. They sponsor the shows, and she said to me, you know what, Lars? Let's give everyone 50% off lashes. You're all getting lashes, 50% off. Fuck yeah, James. Fuck yeah, James. You too, James. And this is there's no bullshit deal. Every one of you is going to get a card. You tell Linda at Dreamy Beauty Bar, you're like, you know what, Lars sent us. Lars from Laughing Vikings. Lars from Lashing Vikings. We're switching it up. Laughing to Lashing Vikings. And it's not the bullshit deal where she'll only do one lash. That's not what I'm talking about. She's going to do both lashes for 50% off. And we got even more prizes. So, fuck. You look so impressed when I told you that there's going to be prizes. You're like, I had no idea this alley was going to be so good. All right. You guys ready to start the show for fucking real? Well, technically, it has started. If any of you are wondering, it has started. This is part of it. A couple ground rules: when you're inside, toss your masks on. Be a good human being. I apologize. I do not have any arrows on the ground, so you guys have to figure out what direction to fucking walk on your own. But if you need any help with that, just come see me and let me know. So, you ready for your first act for fucking real right now? Give it up. Yeah. All right, your first act. She's done it all. She's been to all the festivals, and she's here tonight for you. She took a big, long bus tonight for you. Give it up for Rachelle Lauzon, everyone. Rachelle Lauzon. Come on down.
Give it up for Lars, you guys. Still trying to figure out what Julie's yard is. Is that like a gnome thing? You guys know what that is? Or we were nodding along? Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what it was, but that's cool. Is that good acting school? Anyways, it's like, no, I just need to know. This is great. I actually, this year, I recently moved back to Canada. I was living down in Los Angeles for a few years, which was really fun. I was down there, just like pursuing my dreams of cleaning illegal Airbnbs in Koreatown. It's like 90% of what I did there. A lot of sweeping is like mainly what I did in LA. No, I'm just kidding. I also worked at a restaurant. I did that as well. But it was kind of stressful working at a restaurant there because I was like the only one in the whole place that didn't speak Spanish. I couldn't like understand what any of my coworkers were saying, could like barely communicate. And my one coworker like made me feel so like he just made me feel like such a dumbass about it. He's like, you don't know any Spanish? Because I honestly didn't even know like the basic Spanish words, and I had to explain to him. I'm like, listen, I'm Canadian, okay? Like we don't learn Spanish in schools. Like, that's not our curriculum. It's not our national language. And he's like, oh, right, because you guys speak French. Some of us. Basically, I'm a dumbass in both countries, is what I'm getting at here, which is great. Okay, this is going bad. Just kidding, you guys are great. This is cool. It's actually so good to be out. Like, doesn't it kind of feel like things are like back to normal a little bit, right? I can tell things are back to normal because all the Instagram travel hosts are back on their bullshit, right? Gotta love those gals. I actually have a friend that's a travel hoe, and I hate her. Like, I hate her so much. I hate her and her rich dad that just like pay for her to travel everywhere. It drives me crazy. But I will say one nice thing about her. I will, because I do find this actually to be very impressive about her traveling. I'm very impressed because it doesn't matter where she is in the world. It doesn't matter what country she's in, what hemisphere. It doesn't matter where she is. She will fuck an Australian dude. She finds them. No, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. It's funny. She was like showing me photos from her last vacation, and they were beautiful photos. I was like, wow. I'm like, Sweden? That's amazing. It looks beautiful. She's like, no, we were in Cambodia. Where are all the Cambodians at? Okay, at least pull one in for a photo. Like, bad optics. You know, it's not great. Not great. I'm super into true crime. You guys like true crime? Right? Yeah, a lot of white ladies in here. We love true crime. I just like got these bangs and was like, all right, you're into true crime now. No, I'm just kidding. I've been into true crime for a very long time. I've been so into true crime for so long that I'm like kind of a snob about it now. Like, I was talking to one of my coworkers recently, and she was like, oh my God, did you see the Ted Bundy documentary? I was like, yeah, I've seen the Ted Bundy documentary. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Right? Like, she thought she was introducing me to Ted Bundy. I was like, I knew who Ted Bundy was before Netflix knew who Ted Bundy was. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? And I had to explain to her, I was like, you know, I'm actually kind of more into indie murder, right? Into the underground stuff, you know? Here we go. You guys like murder. Okay. More common than I thought. But it's not lost on me that, like, that's fucked up to be in a true crime. It's messed up. Like, I'm creating a demand for murder. It's fucked up. I'm a murderer. Like, I'm contributing to murder, I feel like. I was watching an episode of Dateline the other day, and it was too much. I'm becoming too desensitized, and I was like, you know what? I just have to shut it off. So I shut it off. Because the victim didn't even die. I was like, what the fuck is this? The Family Channel? Okay? I want murder. Okay? That's why we're all here. Triumphant tale of survival? No, not a chance. I bought the wrong tampons the other day, and you know, it just didn't feel essential enough to like go back. So I'm stuck with these Super Plus. Have you guys seen this shit? Super Plus. Let me break it down for you. You're already like, don't like this one. So basically, just for like the dudes in the room. So like tampons have a unit of measurement that measures how big and strong our pussies are. And, you know, for me, I'm a confident super gal, okay? Super, that's good for me. But Super Plus? He's like, I mean, you guys got to see, they're huge. I mean, it still fits, obviously. But it still slips on in. But they're very large. Like, going in, they look like these, like, cotton torpedoes. And then coming out, it just kind of looks like a sleeping bag. You know, it's just gross. And then I found out there's actually one above Super Plus called Super Ultra. I don't know if you guys have seen this shit. Super Ultra. The only way I can describe Super Ultra is like if your pussy took diesel. You know what I mean? I did go through. I did say that, yeah. I did go through a breakup earlier this year, hence why I moved. We're putting the pieces together here. So I went through this traumatic breakup, and it was horrible. And but it's funny because my friends are like trying to make me feel better about the situation. They're like, "Oh, you know, Rachelle, like everyone's breaking up because of COVID." I'm like, "No, we didn't fucking break up because of COVID. Okay, we broke up because we took our love language quiz. I don't know if you guys have taken the quiz. So it's a good quiz. So we took the quiz, and it turns out my love language is words of affirmation. My ex, he's super Italian, so his love language is obviously fighting. It's a spicy meatball, that guy. Very spicy. And now I'm single again, which is stressful. It's been very stressful. You got single people in the crowd? All right, one sad guy. Okay, now I made it awkward. No, I don't blame you guys for being in a relationship. Being single it's just so stressful. And I know this sounds lame. It's just like, for me, I don't know. I feel like sex is like a very sacred thing that I do with everyone. So I've been busy, you guys. It's stressful. Schedule's packed. I am back on dating apps, which is fine. Whatever, dating apps. It's just, to me, like, nothing changed on dating apps whatsoever in the 4 years I was off it. Like, this is my biggest pet peeve. Like, don't you hate this when you go to a dude's profile, it's just like all group shots? I'm like, all right, I gotta like zoom in. I'm like trying to figure out like who the guy. I'm like, oh, was it this guy? I was like, is it this? And I'm like, wait a second, they're all ugly. Get out of here. Wasting my time. No, can't really call people ugly anymore. It's frowned upon. It's offensive. So let me just clarify. It's not like these guys are actually ugly. It's that I think they're ugly. You know, I just feel like there's a difference there. Dudes are definitely getting more sensitive these days, which is amazing. Keep it up, please. Go to therapy. We need you to do that. But I just feel like now I kind of have to like watch my mouth a little bit more, especially around my guy friends. I was hanging out with one of my friends recently, and he was going on and on about how it's like so awkward and embarrassing when he has to go buy lube. You know, he like hates it because it's like so embarrassing. And I was like, honestly, it is pretty awkward and embarrassing when you have to buy lube, right? Because it means your girlfriend's not that into you. And yeah, he didn't like that. Just like you, he didn't like that at all. He immediately got so defensive about it. He was like, no, you know, like some girls can't get wet. You know, it's like a medical condition for some girls that they can't. And I'm like, okay, first of all, this is the first time I've ever heard you stick up for a woman in your life. Now all of a sudden, you care about women's health issues? Not buying it, Brian. Not buying it. To be honest with you guys, I actually already have a new boyfriend. All that stuff was wrong. No, I'm just kind of in a bit of a transitional phase right now. You know, still doing jokes about the ex, trying to write jokes about the new guy. It's kind of like this limbo I'm in right now. But I'm actually just great at getting boyfriends. That's really what it comes down to. And I have this one friend she's like 37. She's been single forever, and she's struggling with it. She's like so pissed at me. She's like, Rachelle, like, how do you do it? Like, what's your secret? Like, you always have a boyfriend. And I'm like, girl, honestly, you got to do what I do. You got to play hard to get rid of, you know? Just got to stand your ground, you know? It's always worked for me. My new boyfriend plays in a band, and I saw his band play for the first time last week, which was stressful. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the whole way there, I'm just like, please don't suck. Please don't suck. Right? Like, nothing drives a pussy up more than when your boyfriend's band sucks, you know? So that was a little tense. I was kind of like hanging out near the back in case I had to make a quick getaway. But the band was good. Honestly, it was a great show. It was a great night. But the whole way home, he's like so hard on himself. The whole way home, he's like going on. He's like, oh, you know, I missed this part, and I screwed up here, and I like didn't come in right here. And I was like, babe, stop. You know, like, nobody cares about the bass player. Okay. We don't know what you're doing. Nobody knows. Nobody can tell. We don't use birth control. Well, actually, we do. We use the rhythm method. So I'm sure a lot of you know what that is. But if you don't know what the rhythm method is, so basically it's like I track my period. And then on the days when I'm not ovulating, we don't wear condoms. And then on the days when I'm ovulating, we don't wear condoms. And that's kind of where we're at. It's a good rhythm, you know, a little bit more of a jazz, right? Kind of never know what you're going to get. It's good. I like how you guys just came here to not laugh. And I love that for you guys. This guy looks so pissed, and it's distracting. It's hard. I'm sure you're having a great night, but your face doesn't know it. Has no idea of what's going on. I'm just kidding. I'm happy you're here. I appreciate you. But yeah, I was very stressed. I was very stressed out to be single again for many reasons. Oh, now he's talking. Okay, I really opened up a can of worms here. Because I just feel like the landscape has changed, right? Like now everyone's eating ass and stuff like that, and that. I mean, that was like I feel like straight people like caught on to like ass eating when I was in a relationship, and now I'm like, oh. It's too much for me. I've never even done anal sex. I'm not even lying to you guys. The closest I've ever come to doing anal sex is one time my ex and I, we were sleeping back to back, and then he farted in my asshole. I'm like, I know technically that wasn't anal, but like, that was something. I felt that. It was entered. Something was inserted. All right, you guys, we're just talking shit up here. I can't get into the ass eating stuff. No. I saw this woman. I'm on Twitter a lot, and I saw this woman. She's like a sex columnist or something, or a journalist. And she posted this tweet, and she was like, "Hey guys, working on a new project. I want to know your ass eating horror stories. What's the worst thing that ever happened to you eating ass?" And I was like, pretty sure there was just one thing. Literally one bad thing that could happen to you, eating ass. Like, what kind of responses did this woman think she was going to get? It was like, oh, I was eating ass and then fell down the stairs. It's like, no, you got poo in your mouth, okay? One way to get poo in your mouth. I was also nervous to get back into the dating world because basically, like you guys are just meeting me tonight, but basically for the past, 4 to 5 years, my whole personality, my big thing was that I was growing out this sweet bush. Okay, that was kind of my thing. I was really trying to bring the bush back for many years. I would go at nightly. I'm preaching. I'm trying to get women to grow the bush. I'm trying to bring it back. You guys are like, no one here has a bush? Yes, thank you. Usually there's like one dude like, yeah. I'm like, all right, but that was like my whole thing. And then I was single for like 3 hours, and I was like, all right, I got to get rid of this thing. So I've just been like slowly chipping away at it over the weeks, just trying to get it down, to a good length. Guys always get so tense when I start talking about my pubes. Guys, I don't know, guys like hate body hair on women. And I'm like, listen, dudes are out there growing huge bushes too, okay? I don't know if you guys ever tried going down on a dude with like a huge bush. It's like shucking corn. You're like trying to... But my pubes are weird. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I got weird pubes. I always had this idea in my head that like pubes were curly, right? Thanks to the media. Okay, I feel like they're really shoving that down our throat. It's like pubes are curly. That's all you hear about. Not all of them. Okay, mine grows straight out. like it grows sharp. It grows. It's like a corner of a desk. It's a lot. You don't want to run into that thing too fast, right? And it's causing a lot of wear and tear on my underwear. It's like poking through. It's crazy. It's strong. It's so strong. You guys were like, we came out for a nice night. And I'm sorry. Thank you. You guys are like quiet laughers. Love it. Wish you were louder, but it's okay. It's okay. No, I'm tired. I was at the beach all day. I'm fucking tired. Don't worry about me. Anyways, I'll say one more thing and I'll scoot. But one thing I will say is like, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what gender you are. There's nothing more embarrassing than shaving your genitals. Like it really, I always feel like such a fucking loser. Like every time I'm shaving my pussy, like every time. It's like every 3 days I'm just like, maybe tonight's the night. Maybe tonight's the night it's going to happen. Right? It's fucking sad. All right, you guys have been lovely. You're going to love the rest of the show. Thank you so much.
Yeah. We're going for Rachelle, everyone. Rachelle Lauzon. We elbow. All right. We're doing shows in 2021. We have to clean the mics. All right. We are cooking. Yo, DJ, kill that music. Yo, DJ. How you guys doing?
Oh, no.
Shit. Way to drop the mic. Well, it's a good reason we got two right here. There you go. Give it up for the microphone, everyone. He's still with us. He's fucking fine. Completely fine, except since he fell on the ground, technically I got to re-disinfect him because you never know what's on the ground in an alley. Make sure to hit us up on Instagram, and most importantly, hit us up on Dropbox. You guys on Dropbox? Amy, crazy Amy, you on Dropbox? You on Dropbox? Hit me up on Dropbox, all right? What? You're not on Dropbox? Make some noise if you're on Dropbox already. What the fuck? You guys are not on... Okay, it is file sharing, but it's so much more. I'm going to give you a hot fucking tip right now. This is like bigger than Bitcoin. I'm telling you right now. Dropbox, ladies and gentlemen. Get on Dropbox. Amy's looking at me like I'm crazy, but she's crazy Amy. You're the crazy one. Remember when TikTok was a thing and you're like, should I get on TikTok? And if you had, you'd be fucking famous on TikTok right now. Dropbox, ladies and gentlemen. You on Dropbox, Emmers? Hey, you on Dropbox? You on Dropbox? Get on Dropbox. I'm giving you a hot tip right now. They're expanding it. I'm there. I got a big old box on Dropbox. I got a big old box. We put our boxes together. You got a box. I got a box. You have a box. Leave a box. Need a box. Take a box. Who's got a box? Who's boxing? Amy, you with me? Hit me up on Dropbox. It's right there at Laughing Vikings. While you're there, do it up on Instagram as well. But hit me up on Dropbox. I'm dropping you some hot tips right now. By the way, did anyone else become like best buddies and best friends with their local Dollarama over the last 18 months? Fucking, I'm making a noise for Dollarama right now. They deserve it. They deserve it. You guys need anything? This, I'm going to tell you right now. These are the sentence I'm about to utter to you is the sentence that I have said the most in this studio in the last 18 months. This is if I had a quotable quote that was Lars, it would be, hey James, you need anything at Dollarama? You need anything at Dollarama? You guys need anything at Dollarama? You need anything at Dollarama? Need a plunger? You need anything at Dollarama? What are you pointing at?
That dice. I think another one of those dice
Look at this. From Dollarama. This is legit from Dollarama. And if you're wondering why is this here in the Comedy Alley, this comedy dice right here is how we're going to determine who wins the fucking prizes later. When we turn this alley into Casino Alley later. You ready? Get ready. Always ready. Always fucking ready. Wow, we got such a good fucking show for you guys. I want to tell you one more thing here. One of my favorite things in life. I'm a man of simple pleasures. Like just give me an alley. By the way, Rachelle said she feels awkward. You just got to own that shit a little more. You got to get like right up here in the mirror when you're doing it, right? Like just fucking right up there and just put on some opera while you're shaving your balls, right? That's it. That's how I do it. One of my simple pleasure things in life is when you're walking down the street and for a brief snippet, someone's walking the other direction. For a brief moment, a stranger, someone you've never seen in your life, you may never see them again, but for a brief moment, you get a little peek into their weird fucking lives. You guys know what I'm talking about? James, you know what I'm talking about? When you get like a little Doppler radar effect where you start to hear it right here, and then you get it nice and juicy right here, and then it kind of like trails away, and you're like, whatever happened to that guy? So I'm going to tell you the craziest one that I ever heard. A couple weeks ago, I walked down Queen Street, and a lovely lady and another lovely lady walk out, I think, of a patio. It was a beautiful summer day. They seemed like they were having a great day, like a lovely time. So nothing grave about the situation at all. They were just like giggly, much like maybe it was you. Imagine it was you guys. Imagine I described the situation having me to complete strangers, and then you were here tonight in some weird Phil Collins-y way. You guys know the story behind that? I can feel it. Where that thing was about how a guy let another guy drown, and then he invited him to a concert and sang it at him. Anyways, I digress. I'm going to tell you about the crazy situation. So I'm walking down the street, and two ladies walk towards me, and this is the conversation I hear. The little snippet that I get in passing was, yeah, that's totally going to be the new Gina cut off a finger story. What? I'm just minding my own business, and two lovely ladies with smiles on their faces are like, yeah, that's totally going to be the new Gina cut off a finger story. What the fuck? And then I'm left here like, what about Gina? What do you? And I'm like, what the fuck? What? First of all, Was it her finger? Was it someone else's finger? How did she do it? Was it an accident? Is it like, is she Gina Soprano? And it was like a hit? It's like, I'm going to teach you a lesson here. And she's just chopping off fingers for her dad. I don't know what it is. And then I'm like, no, wait, something else just happened that is the new Gina cut off a finger story. Did Gina cut off another finger? Did she cut off something else? What do you guys think? Can we figure this out in the alley? Does anyone know anyone named Gina? Collectively, James, you know someone named Gina? You know what Gina? Does she have any cut off a finger stories in her history? Maybe it's not something she was going to talk about, though. You think she'd talk about it openly? Maybe if it's on the DL, ask her about it. Ask her about it. Next time you'd be like, hey, I heard about a thing in you and a finger. What's the deal with that? I heard about it in an alley. I was in an alley and a young chap in an alley told me a little story about you cutting off a finger. What the fuck, Gina? Can everyone tonight, if you guys remember this, can everyone go on social media and just be like, tag every Gina or just write, do I know a Gina? Lars at Laughing Vikings hit him up on Dropbox, said, do I know a Gina? Do I know a Gina who has a cut off a finger story? And do I know another lady who has a story that's better than the original cut off a finger story? We need to figure this out. I'm asking for help, ladies and gentlemen. I'm asking for help right now. Please help me find Gina and the finger she cut off and the other lady who did something higher than the original Gina cut off a story. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you for sticking with me through that one. I hope you're not recording all that stuff. We got all that. Save your hard drive. Guys, we're going to move it forward. Your second act of the night. You ready for him? You ready? Okay, bring it up. Because he's an up-and-comer. He's been tearing it up around the city here. He's doing shows in parks, on roofs. Rumor has it this is his first time doing an alley show, so we need to give him some fucking alley love. Nothing weird, but lots of alley love. Please give it up for Harv Khatow, everybody. Harv Khatow, come on down. It works.
Keep it going for Lars, everybody. James at the back, can you hear me? Yeah? Okay, cool, man. Nice spot here, between two buildings, a roof between two buildings. Says a lot about this country. All of us here meeting for comedy. Back where I come from, the same location, all of us are getting stabbed and robbed. Anyway, my name is Harv, and I go by Harv. Let me rephrase that. I go by Harv because my name is Harv. My parents wanted to give me a unique name, and that they did. I have Harvas per Hotmail, Harvas per Gmail, Harvas per Yahoo, and Harvas on BSN. But that's a double-edged sword, though, because I don't have to think about a username. I take a solid 3 seconds. I just have to type my name. But on the other hand, when I'm beating a 12-year-old at FIFA online, his parents can find my location in like 3 minutes. They just have to type my name into Google and it pops up 50925 Capriol Court, Toronto, Ontario. Man, growing up it sucked because everyone had non-unique names and cool email addresses. Peter would walk into class going Peter_Skywalker@gmail.com. Now everyone's calling him Skywalker. When he walks into the room, meanwhile, no one can say my name, so everyone's calling me shithead. I was so pissed off. I was like, I'm going to make my own superhero name, superhero email. I went with Harvas_John Doe. I love that guy. His name is there everywhere you go. The form already has his name pre-populated. John, we were expecting you. He can find a Coke can with his name in even in the remotest town, in any shop, anywhere. He can find a can with John on it. Meanwhile, the only way I'll find a can with my name on it is they start making cans with shithead on it. I went to the washroom here right before, and I noticed they have a bidet. Who knows something about bidets here? Has anyone heard that word bidet? Nobody? You have? Wow, okay, culture. Good. Where I come from, I'm spoiled. We have handheld bidets. I press a button on that shit, water squirts out at just the right pressure. Contactless cleaning at its best. When I came to this country, everyone was like, oh, you're moving from third world to first world. Are you excited? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm excited. I take the flight over, take my first shit. I'm like, wait a second. There's no water here. These guys are rubbing paper on their asshole. What the fuck? I had to call my dad. I'm like, Dad, I think we got it all wrong. I think we are first world, Dad. These guys are third world. Every time they take a shit, they're rubbing dead trees on their asshole, Dad. I think we are first world, Dad. Come on. Charmin can be as soft as she wants. Never want to be no water, you know what I'm saying? It's just way smoother with water. Ultra soft. Talking about calling my dad, I called my dad the other day. I was like, Dad, you're finally giving me a passport. Before I could complete the sentence, this man goes crazy. Absolutely nuts. He starts calling everyone and he calls my mom, my uncles, my aunts, my grandparents, the cats, the dogs, the goats, the cows, basically everyone that lives in an Indian household. And then he announces to the whole group, finally, my son is Canadian! And everyone starts celebrating like I've won a gold at the Olympics. My mother's going, woo! My uncles and my aunts are dancing. My dad's on the cow. Everyone's playing the drums. Danga, 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 having a great fucking time. I don't have the heart to tell him I was talking about the vaccine passport. You know? Fuck it, one more family will believe I'm Canadian. I let half this country believe that anyway. But on a very serious note, I'm not for the vaccine passport or the vaccine. I took the vaccine, so I'll get the passport, but I'm not for the vaccine or the passport. Unpopular opinion, room goes silent. I'll tell you why I took the vaccine though. My rationale is very simple. You guys have to take 15 different shots before going to my country. The fuck is your vaccine going to do to me? I could lick the streets in this country every day and still go home, COVID free. COVID has to evolve for me. In my country, it had to develop a Delta variant just so that my people start feeling it. Yeah, I'm not from, clearly, you guys are made up for my accent. I'm not from around here. I'm from India, specifically Mumbai. City of dreams, everyone. City of fucking dreams, yeah. Everyone's dreaming of going somewhere else. And I made it, you know? And in Mumbai, I come from this little tiny street, very sweet street, but whenever it rains, that motherfucker floods. And when it floods, all the shit comes to the surface. Literal shit. Cow shit, dog shit, goat shit, human shit. All the shit. And every morning, I had to roll my pants up on a rainy day and walk through that shit to school. Meanwhile, the kids that had nowhere to go that day made a field day out of it. Free swimming pool, let's go! Yeah, you almost threw up. Now, why am I telling you this? It's just to let you know that your vaccine got nothing on me, lady. My immunity is used to shit you haven't even seen. Oh man, I wasn't taking COVID seriously. I was walking around bars and pubs in Toronto going, I'm happy COVID's around. Finally, there's a Chinese disease in the market without an Apple logo on it. Let's celebrate. Before I knew it, it kicked our asses. We went from I can't feel my face when I'm with you to I can't touch my face now that I've touched you. But don't get me wrong, I love it. You know, I'm an introvert, so handshakes and hugs are now out of the picture, so I can Indian it from a distance and just move about my day. Previously, handshakes and hugs would scare the shit out of me. Every time I had to meet someone, I had to pre-decide whether they were a handshaker or a hugger. Last time I met my friend's grandmom, pre-COVID, I was like, definitely a handshaker. Turns out she's a hugger. I put out a hand, I grabbed a tit. Almost got me too by my friend's grandmom. Okay? Thank God she didn't know about Facebook or the Me Too movement. In her time, this was all just normal. Yeah, guys. At the peak of COVID, I saw a very cute Asian couple crossing the street. And I was watching because I'm a creep like that. And they were crossing. As the white man went to a red hand, they started crossing quicker. And I kept watching. And all of a sudden, the woman kind of slips and falls. And I wanted to run out and help, but I didn't. And everyone thinks I'm racist, but I'm not. I did that because I thought it hadn't been 14 days since they arrived. And I didn't want to get in trouble with the government. Everyone's been blaming Chinese people for the virus, though, which I don't understand. I really don't understand, because even if they created it, they're solving a problem, in my opinion. Because think about it. Who's the racists? The old people. Who's the bigots? The old people. Who has jobs you'd rather have? The old people. Who's COVID killing everybody? Yeah, it's the old people. So what do you want? Do you want to be vice president at your company, or do you want to hang out with your nana? Because the Chinese can only do that much. You know, you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink it. That's what I'm saying. Man, as COVID kept going, the media started throwing new things at us every week, making us a little live reality TV show. First time I heard something, I was like, J.K. Rowling hates the trans people. Like, fuck it, cancel her. I'm good for that. You know, I love cancel culture when it's happening to the rich and famous. I fucking love it. Let's make room for some new talent around here. Then the media dropped the gem of Black Lives Matter on us. I was upset. The first time I saw the news, I was like, holy shit, this happened. People just took videos and didn't do anything about it. That fucking sucks. The next day I woke up and I saw my black brothers protesting and taking the TVs they truly deserve, and I was with them. The next day something weird started to happen. I started seeing white women posting on Instagram with black boyfriends, as if to like show an anti-racist passport of sorts. Like, you think I'm racist? I would be dating no Tyrone. At that moment I realized, guys, George Floyd is a martyr. Look at all this premium pussy his brothers are getting. For the same privilege, guys, I'd give 2 Sandeeps. I wouldn't even refund the police. I wouldn't even defund the police. I'd fucking refund the police. Whatever it took from you to kneel on those 2 Sandeeps, I'll personally give it back. Where I come from, there's a billion of those. 2 Sandeeps missing, no one will notice. For once, I just want my own little movement, my own little BLM, Brown Lives Matter, you know? My brothers to get the premium shit. Oh man, and I say this not as a racist, guys. I believe people are more racist towards brown people than anyone else. And I'll tell you why. When this whole COVID shit happened, what do you guys do? You guys stood up in arms. You know, the world started blaming a certain subset of people. And you guys all went up in arms on the internet. Hashtag AAPI, Stop Asian Hate. And I was with you guys. Fuck that. Right? When 9/11 happened, what did you guys do? I'll tell you what you did. Nothing! Nothing! I took 5 hours to get through airport and all I got was hashtag PAKI. Packy bastard. That's all I was called. Geographically incorrect racism. I'm Indian, by the way. Oh man, what do you do when you go to a Chinese restaurant? You eat with chopsticks, but all of a sudden when you're at an Indian restaurant, you want cutlery. We eat with our hands. Indulge in my culture, why don't you, for once, you know? If you could figure out how to eat rice with sticks, I'm sure you can figure out how to eat rice with your hands. Just put your fingers together, put it in your mouth, figure it out. You know? I think people are more racist towards brown people than even black people, to be very honest. And I'll tell you why. If a black person was to walk through those doors right now, I can't go up to him and go, bro, are you a drug dealer? That's considered hella racist. If I walk through those doors with a backpack on my back, each one of you is allowed to lift your head and go, Uber Eats? The other day, I had my car parked at the side of the road and a woman just got in the back seat and started showing me her phone. I need to get here. I was looking at her. I locked my doors. I turned around. I was like, yeah, we're known to be cab drivers, but guess what? We're also known to be rapists. So be careful what you wish for, because once those doors lock, it's a flip of a fucking coin. You guys weren't expecting this from a tiny brown boy. Oh man, what I'm most upset about is after 200 years of slavery, guys, 200 years of slavery in our own country, we still aren't allowed to use the N-word. And I don't want to use it in public. Like if I see a black guy walking in right now, I don't want to go, what's up, man? Never mind. I don't want to do that. Okay? I just want my money's worth at a rap concert. Because I'm paying the same amount for tickets and I have to pause every 3 words unless the black guy next to me gets to sing the whole song. How's that fair? Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end on this note. I've figured out how to beat you woke guys at your own game. Okay? So from today, I identify as black. Thanks everybody. That's my time. I'm Harv. Let's bring your host back on.
Harv, Khatow, everybody. Keep going for Harv. Yeah. Go DJ. Boom. Harv mentioned the bidet. Make a little noise if you've used that in there. That's included in the ticket price, by the way, tonight. Did you guys realize that? You guys used it yet? I want to get into the bidet business. I want to open a bidet store right now. Does anyone own a bidet? No one owns a bidet? No one in this alley owns a bidet. You do? It's not installed. What? You can't. That's not doing anything. What are you guys just talking about it? You need a bidet man to come by to your house. You need to call Bidets R Us. Call it the Bidet Depot. Call it Bob's Bidets. And where did you buy it? Uber Bidet? Yeah, that's good. I want to sell bidets and or install. Now I'm like, oh, maybe all the money's in service and installation, right? It's like you buy the car, but you got to go back for the service for your monthly checkup. Where did you buy it? Oh, straight off of Amazon. Used? It was one of the used ones? Yeah. Used bidets. You'd be like, I don't want to fit. Pre-COVID. Nice. 2019. Right. You've had a bidet in your living room, unattached. Meanwhile, you're hoarding toilet paper during all this COVID. You're like, I can't give it up. Are you uncertain as to how to install a bidet, or are you addicted to toilet paper? You have a toilet paper problem, I think. Yeah. You have a whole bunker. You have a whole missile silo filled with toilet paper that we're like, we got to use it. There's no point installing this. We have all this paper. If we just leave the paper here, then technically it's a fire hazard. So I believe that I have written the best jingle. I'm going to put it this way. I believe I have written the Sleep Country Canada of bidet jingles, and I want to unveil it to you. I think I can sell everyone in the room. In the room. It's funny that I said room. We're in an alley on a roof right now, everyone. This is the Sleep Country Canada of bidets. Are you okay? Oh, you kind of just teeter-tottered in there. I was like, is James going down? What's happening here? I was like, I was like, am I doing something weird? Am I like slowly teetering this way? And then you're like, yeah, that's weird. All right, but everyone's good. Okay. I believe that I am the Sleep Country Canada of bidet salesmen. And if you think Christine McGee of Sleep Country Canada had a business plan, she did not. She had warehouses and warehouses and warehouses full of mattresses and one hell of a bidet. Not a bidet. One hell of a jingle. She probably has one hell of a bidet. It's when you've sold millions and millions of mattresses, you better believe you have invested some. She has a diamond encrusted bidet. But I put together a bidet jingle for you. It goes a little something like this. It's for sale. And unlike the Charlie Sheen from that show, the jingle guy, you guys know what I'm talking about. 2.5 Men. And it goes something like this. Come on down to Bob's Bidets, because with the bidet, you're always rim job ready. Bob's Bidets. Emmers, you're going to buy a bidet from that jingle alone? Yes, fuck yeah. You don't need to see the business plan. Just take one. Take 10. You want one too? I'm selling them. Who needs them? Who's got them? Who needs them? Believe it or not, I shared that I was in Gravenhurst one time. You guys know where Gravenhurst is? Gravenhurst up in Muskoka. I was doing a show out of Gravenhurst, Junk City. Boom. Killing it, right? Wow, you're killing it. You're like Madison Square Gardens, the Apollo, MSG, the Junk City in Gravenhurst. And it doesn't, I know if you're wondering what the Junk City is, it's not a really cool, hip strip club. It's a gas station / convenience store that has a convenience store / gas station, and then we were doing a stand-up show directly adjacent, like in it. Like some people would come for the show, and then other people would come and turn the other way and just go pay for gas and get some beef jerky and some smokes and leave. One guy, I was on stage right here. I swear to God, all of this is 100% true. I was in a Jug City in Gravenhurst. Right over there is like chips and smokes and everything. People coming in just buying gas and be like, what's that? It's a show. And a guy came up here and I'm like, oh, hey, man, you here for the show? And he goes, no, I'm just here to buy some worms. I was standing next to the worm machine in the Gravenhurst Jug City. He put coins in a worm machine and then filled a cup full of worms right next to me on stage. And I'm like, fucking Canadian entertainment. This is great. But the point of this, the reason I'm telling you about Bob's Bidets and Gravenhurst is at that show, I did that bidet jingle, and there was a man and a daughter here, a husband, a father and a daughter. And I was like, you got anyone in the room on bidet? And the daughter said yes, and the father said no. And then right in the middle of the show, a father and a daughter got in a bidet debate right in the front of my show. So I'm trying to do the show and talk about bidets, and these people are debating bidets, having a bidet debate right in front of me. You guys ever had a bidet debate? You ever debated bidets? How many times has she been in her living room and she's been debating debates and bideting debates, figuring out how to do it? So say it for yourself, James. Bidet debate. He's like, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it, Lars. Bidet debate. Bidet debate. It's really fun, right? Bidet debate. Bidet debate. Bidet debate. Bidet debate. Does anyone not know what's happening right now? Does anyone not know what's happening? If you don't, I will explain it afterwards. We'll just have a site. It'll be like, oh, that was this and this was that. How did you not know what Julie's yard was? All right, guys, we have an incredible 2 acts here left for you. They're both brilliant. The next act coming up, she's done JFL 42. She was a member of the Canadian Comedy Award-winning Sketcherson sketch troupe, and she's here for you in a fucking alley. So make some alley noise and give her some love. Gillian Bartolucci. Gillian Bartolucci.
Emily. Hello. Hello, James. Hello, James in the back. Amy. Hello. Other alley cats. Hello. Let's learn. You're right, Emily. You don't want me to go uncalled out. What's your name?
Fars.
Fars? Nice to meet you. Okay. Learn more. We're done. We added one more to the group. Guys, summer coming to an end, but we still got a nice, beautiful summer night. Fall's on deck, about to get fucking cozy. I love fall. You guys like fall? Yes. Perhaps a new change in wardrobe, maybe, to bring in the season. Anybody into thrift shopping? We got some thrifters. A little woo, yeah. Secondhand gems. I'm not good at it. I don't like thrift shopping. I don't have the patience for it. I don't have the eye. Being in a thrift store makes me feel like being at a house party back in high school. All my friends are getting lucky, and I leave in a pair of shoes that look similar to mine, but much worse. That's what happens when I'm in a thrift store. My sister's very good at thrifting. She's got the eye. She's buying and selling goods, a lot of vintage items, and that's what she did this whole pandemic. I watched her on the Facebook Marketplace. I learned that. I didn't know what that was. And I went with her as we went to different locations to pick up new goods, and I learned what bundles were. Have you guys heard of this? Bundles? When people sell bundles, it's when they have like a bag of shit, and you can't pick and choose individually. So you have to take everything in that bundle because some things are so shitty that you would never sell it on its own. So you got to take the whole bundle or you get nothing. And that's how I think Lou Pearlman packaged the band NSYNC. When bookers were like, why not just Justin Timberlake? They're like, you got to take all 5, including Joey Fatone. And they come in this garbage bag. So my sister had a lot of purpose this pandemic, and I was envious because I had zero purpose. Nothing going on. 1 hour I had purpose, though, and I want to tell you about this. I had purpose for an hour because I thought I saw a dead body. I know there were like murder heads in here earlier. We gave it up for Rachelle. I thought I saw a dead body. Convinced, okay? I was driving looking out the window in the passenger seat, so I can gaze around. And there was like this swampy marsh, and it was like something out of True Detective. It was like a naked, fleshy, pale skin body on its knees, head hanging down. Okay, and I knew this would happen in my life because I grew up in Hamilton, and it's a city of waterfalls, and there's lots of places to hide dead bodies. So I knew it was only time when I would come across finding a dead body. And I was like, this is it. I see my life happening. I'm fucking solving this crime. I'm going to be on TV. The reporter's going to be like, what's your name? And I'm going to be like, Gillian, but my friends call me Vigilante. And I like knew this was happening. It was fucking going down. So I came home. I told my sister, I was like, I found a dead body. I knew she would be game for this. So she was like, hell yeah. She gets in the car. We had to drive by so many times to see this dead body. Because we were on a highway, so like to get the ramp and go around. And my sister looks at it and she's like, I just need to get a closer look. She didn't have her glasses, so we went all the way back to the house. She got her glasses. We went for like the 7th time around. She puts her glasses on and she's like, holy fuck, that's a couch. And I want to sell that shit. So she got a fucking deal out of that. Sucks, I got nothing. One thing I am trying to, work on since I have time is myself. I'm just trying to be like more kinder to myself, especially like in the way that I treat myself, my body image, all that stuff. So I came across body neutrality. Have you guys heard that phrase? Being neutral towards your body. So like, body positivity was this like huge thing, but then some people were just like, I don't like necessarily need to love my body. I can be neutral to it, and I like that. So I'm going with like body neutrality, and the way I think of it is like thinking of my body as a crock pot. Like I have one. I forget that it's there. I don't really think about it until I remember this thing is pretty useful. So my body's like a crock pot, okay? I'm not obsessed with it. It's not an air fryer, Another thing that I think is really helpful is writing lists that focus on what your body can do rather than like what it looks like. So I practice that a lot. So for example, I get self-conscious, like maybe I'm self-conscious about my arms. Okay, don't like them, but then I remember, these arms right here, they can reach to pet a whale. They shouldn't, but they can. And I think that's pretty cool. So it's really helpful for me to think about these things because my entire life I grew up with an eating disorder, and I don't think that that ever really goes away. If you had a drinking problem, you're able to just like not drink alcohol. But when it comes to an eating disorder, you can't not eat. You got to eat. So I still get triggered all the time, which is why to this day, I'm still jealous of ghosts because they weigh nothing. My friend tells me she thinks her house is haunted because in her kitchen, she's like, Gillian, the cupboards keep opening and closing. And I'm like, you let that fucking ghost eat. It's about damn time. I also am in like the fitness industry, which sometimes I feel really good about it. I love being a strength trainer. I love lifting heavy weights. It makes me feel fucking shredded. But sometimes I find the whole industry just completely toxic. These all or nothing attitudes that people have, this like never miss a Monday mentality. The size of these water bottles, getting too fucking big. Outrageous. People are spending their whole day trying to get through a gallon of water. Like they're in the desert, but they're not. They're just going about their day, and everything is to do with like the time tickers that are going on. I'm telling people, slow down, and they're like, I can't because it's at 11 a.m. and I got all this fucking water. And I look in, and there's like motivational quotes on the bottle that just say, glug, glug, you fucking pleb. Fucked. Also, like when you get into the like health and fitness industry, down along the spectrum, you meet the anti-vaxxers. It happened to me. I had a full incident with a girl who's a fitness trainer, and she told me that she isn't getting vaccinated because it's not her vibe. That's what she said. She used like the power of manifestation, like all about COVID. And like the more I thought about it, I was like, maybe she's right. Like maybe COVID is such a vibe. Because you got to be vibrating at a higher frequency when you're convulsing with fever chills. You know what I mean? She's like, when it comes to the vaccine, I got to trust my gut. I'm like, yes, you do, because you have no other senses left. Trust your gut? That's so dangerous. I can't trust my gut, okay? Trusting my gut is as dangerous as going axe throwing. I always throw up. I know. But you know what? This little boss babe that is not getting the vaccine, I'm a bit envious because when she dies, she's going to be a ghost girl boss, and I'll be jealous because she'll weigh fucking nothing. I also worked at a cafe that was all about like health and wellness. And I would like to perform for you a character monologue that's inspired by my time working there. So at this place, the funniest thing that ever happened to me is there was like a display of desserts, and they were shellacked because they were just on display. But someone sold the monk fruit dessert that was shellacked to a customer. My boss was freaking out because she was like, is shellac poisonous? And I was like, I don't know, but it's keto. Anyways, you guys ready for my little monologue? Sweet, love this. Okay, I'm gonna turn around, and when I come back to the front, I'll be a different person. Okay. What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Sam Samantha here, and I just thought I'd do a little summer haul for you that is changing my freaking world. Okay, let me start with my first have product. So as you know, I was 7 months pregnant and currently looking to slim down because honestly, I couldn't handle the bloat. This little empty tummy tea detox totally came through and saved me. This little sachet filled with dust and schizandra berries totally got rid of my swelling, my cravings, and my baby. In the form of an emergency unscheduled C-section, do not worry, baby Kennedy is alive and well and currently trying to get back down to her birth weight. Which is why we're both totally nuts about my next must-have product. So, as you know, I no longer eat solids because my teeth are decaying due to a lack of nutrients, and baby Kennedy hasn't even started teething yet, which is why we are both drinking this nothing about me shakes, but this shake meal replacement. It comes in 6 wild flavors: cardboard, wood chips, unscented sunscreen, pasta water, existential dread, and Andrew Shear. Cheers it with a friend when you talk about the one thing you still have in common: not getting your period in the last 19 months. So, if like me, you can't be trusted around food because you're a goddamn sustenance burglar, I am loving this next trendy diet. Healthy lifestyle change, which is intermittent fasting, or for those who want to kick it into high gear, extra consistent continual fasting. What I love about extra consistent continual fasting is that it has nothing to do with socioeconomics because it requires nothing of you. Like, you guys have got to try not eating. Not eating deprives me of the energy it takes to form a personality, and I know it will for you too. You will never feel as empty as the fleeting happiness that comes with trying to shrink yourself. And for the stress of starving, might I recommend this CBD oil, these magnesium tablets, inhaling pine sol, doing straight up meth, or rage fucking a piñata that looks like your ex. And don't even get me started. I'm sorry. My heart rate is dangerously low, and I think I just died for a second. But while I was floating through a tunnel towards a white light that wasn't necessarily the best filter for me, I did grab a hold of these eye masks that eliminates puffiness, dark circles, post-mortem skin slippage, as well as this anti-aging, anti-redness, anti-identity skin serum. Because frankly, I want my face to look like it's never been used. So thank you so much for joining me. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button at the bottom. And please join me next time for my fall haul, where I'll scratch and sniff a pumpkin spice latte and look for the beginning of my infinity scarf. Guys, thanks so much. That's it for me. You're the best. Give it up for Lars coming back in the alley.
Gillian Bartolucci. Gillian Bartolucci. Keep it going, guys. Keep it going. All right. Guys, how you doing? We got some newcomers. Stumbled into the alley. You stepped through the wardrobe into this Narnia-like alley. Where are you guys coming from, fellas?
Toronto.
You too. Right here. I'm looking directly.
Canada, yeah.
Oh, but where were you coming from tonight? How did you stumble across us?
We just had dinner at some Thai place.
Are you guys hockey players and you had a bunch of concussions earlier tonight? Is that what happened? So you guys playing a little shinny and you're like, we weren't expecting questions. Welcome. How are you guys? You good? So far, so good?
Yeah.
What are your names? Everybody, just if you're like, why am I asking your name right now? Look at us. We have an intimate group in a weird fucking alley. We already know each other. So you're like 80% through a wicked ass party in a weird alley, and you're the latecomers to the party. So welcome. Give it up for these guys, everybody. I should actually let you say your names too. What are your names?
Dave and Jake.
Oh, fucking course. Dave and Jake. Give it up for Dave and Jake, guys. Yeah. We're Dave and Jake. Good old Canadian boys. Where you from? Canada? Yeah. Right. Welcome. Well, you got a treat. You missed a hell of a great show, but you can also come back tomorrow at 9 p.m. We actually do this every Friday, Saturday at 9 p.m. And you'll see headliners from across the country, people you've seen on all of the festivals, and sometimes it gets weird, Jake and Dave.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. All right, you said earlier there was 4 of you. Did you lose?
They're getting shy, yeah. It's okay.
What were their names?
Scott and Nevin.
Scotty, Jake, Dave, Scotty, and Nevers, right?
Yeah.
You guys all do. I feel like you guys are the 4 type of guys that nobody calls, the kind of dudes that no one is called by their real name. It's like Jakers and Skitters and Big D, that kind of, like everyone's.
Yeah, Big D.
You're Big D, yeah. Everyone, Jake's Big D, by the way. I don't know. I like how you just volunteer. I'll take Big D. If Big D is available as a nickname, I'll take Big D, not Little D, Big D. I'm Big D. Guys, are you ready for your final act of the night? Woo! Okay, here's the thing. I got to tell you guys. The reason I love doing this, I fucking love doing this. I love this. I love this. And believe it or not, 2 months ago, this was just an empty alley, and there was never people here. There was never shows. It would just be me smoking a joint, maybe playing the guitar. No live stream. Not a one umbrella. Not a single umbrella. Can you believe that? What the fuck? What a waste of an alley. Not 9 umbrellas. No. Goofy wasn't here. None of this was here. None of it was here. And in my head, I'm like, after lockdown, I'm like, we need a fucking space. People need to come together and do fun shit again. And so my favorite thing is to invite strangers to this cool little alley who become friends by the end of the night. Jakers, Davers, Jamie, Emmers. Notice I call you Jamie. I'm going to call you Jamie. Yeah. And Crazy Ames still with us. Crazy Ames is on her 9th bottle of wine tonight. It's fine. Let's do some shooters. All of a sudden she's got Jello shots. You're like, where the fuck did you get Jello? I made it. I made my own Jello. So here's the thing. I love bringing strangers together, people together. By the way, my pronouns, if you're wondering, my pronouns are we and us. Because you are me and I am you. We're literally made of the same light energy, guys. We were all once a ball of energy and we blew up, and now we're just floating around being weird. Sometimes we fight, but not in an alley. So I bring strangers together, and then I invite all of my best friends in the business to come here. And the guy you're going to see, when I was brand new in the business about 11 years ago, he was one of the first people who gave me stage time, eventually paid me for that stage time. First thing in comedy, it starts with drink tickets and maybe a nugget of weed, and then you work your way up to a pound of chicken wings, maybe some fries, and then eventually get your first $20. And you're like, fuck yeah, I just made $20 for talking about my dick. Oh, fuck yeah, right? And so he gave me tons of opportunities. And this is his first time in the alley. He's a regular at Just for Laughs. You've seen him on the Strombo show, and you've seen him on Russell Peters' Christmas. Please make it, I'm getting emotional up here, James. This is fucking doing it. Please give it up for John Paul, everyone. John Paul, come on down. Oh, yeah. Jake and D, come on. Give it up for him. Give it up, JP.
Thank you, man. Keep it going for Lars, everybody. Lars. Also, keep it going for everybody who was on earlier. They were all fantastic. I got way too much shit in my pocket. I'm a fucking dad. I got a ton of shit on me. I'm not gonna apologize for having good sperm. I'm not even kidding. Lars, is Lars still here? Is he fucked off? Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you this anyway. So I'm not even a kid. I've seen you running this shit for 2 months, and everybody was doing the show, and I caught a little fucking feelings that you hadn't asked me yet. So I was glad to finally get that email. I was like, this is some bullshit. I gave this motherfucker money back in the day. I'm just kidding. But I was catching feelings, so I'm happy to be here, everybody. I'll start off by saying this. I turned 50 and 51 in this pandemic. Thank you. Thank you. And the funny thing is, the only thing I learned through this entire pandemic at 51 is that to practice safe sex. That's what I learned. And by that, I mean fuck with the lights on. Because in the dark, lube and hand sanitizer feels exactly the same. Until it doesn't feel exactly the same. On the bright side, my dick will never catch the Delta variant. So there's that. It's weird, man. I grew up not too far from here. Don Mills in Eglinton, just up the DVP there. I grew up there. Is that where you grew up? Yeah, Flemmel, me too. Which building? Oh boy, yeah. I grew up all over Flemington, man. I'm OG up in that bitch. I'm originally from Trinidad and Tobago. That's where I'm originally from. But I grew up here. That's why I sound like this. I'm basically a Trinidadian raised in captivity. That is what I am. But I grew up just from here, and it's funny because I still call it the hood. You know what I mean? That's where all the immigrants thing. And then we always moved whenever my parents got a better job. And by move to a better place, it just means like less and less cockroaches as you start to grow up, which is pretty cool. It's not a big deal. I'm originally from the Caribbean, so the cockroaches here are inconsequential. They're tiny, they're cute, very polite. Because in Trinidad, they're huge. They're like this tall. You go into the kitchen late at night, turn on the light, they got the fridge open. You want something? It's like, eee. So now I live in the suburbs. Now I live in Ajax. Now I'm a homeowner. It's crazy. I never saw that shit coming, man. Also been married for 15 years, which is weird. I didn't think I'd be married 15 weeks, right? But I also married a Trini woman, so I kind of understand how it works. And she has the accent. Like if she were here, she'd be like, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe all these people came out in an alley to watch comedy under some umbrellas. This is so nice, so quaint, so cute." It's great for arguing because no matter what she says, what she's yelling, I just feel like I'm on vacation. Like the most relaxing arguments in the entire fucking world. It's funny though, after being married 15 years, especially spending 2 of them in a fucking pandemic, man. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of us that we actually made it through, you know? It's not easy regular to be married to someone. And after 15 years, my guy friend's like, "Yo, man, you still in love, bro? 15 years, you still in love with your wife, man?" And here's the thing, I'm still actively in love with my wife, which is pretty cool, right? But she's not here, you don't have to fucking clap. But here's the fucking thing. Here's how you know. They're like, how do you know you're in love? And here's how you can tell you're in love with whoever you're with. This is a surefire life hack to be able to tell. If it almost feels like hate, make sure you hold on to that motherfucker. Because only someone who makes you feel that level of emotions is forever. Like if you've never seen your partner walk up some stairs and get to the edge and teeter, and you think, man, I could just push you down these motherfucking stairs, and you giggle to yourself. What you thinking about, girl? I'm just thinking about how much I love you, babe. Love the shit out of you right now. I love that Lars has a little dog walking around. I'm not gonna talk about like race. I will, but I mean, I don't mean this in a race way. I love how we're different culturally. Like we just do different cultural things. Like only in a white club alley would you see a dog walking around. Oh, look how cute he is. That'll never happen in a black club. Like never. First of all, we're way too terrified of dogs. And the other thing is, who the fuck do you think you are? Nino Brown from New Jack City? Oh, good chain. See the movie, that reference would be hilarious. Yeah, you got me, right? I know you got me. It's really been interesting. Learned a lot of shit too. Did anybody know that TikTok is not just to learn about how to do fucking dancing and like recite other people's material? Did anybody know that? Like you could actually learn political shit? I didn't know that. I got 2 kids, 11 and 13. My daughter's 11 going on 47. Like she's like smart as a whip. She learned about different things on TikTok, which I didn't know. Like the whole George Floyd trial, all that kind of crazy shit. White lives or what? Not white lives matter. Black lives matter. Just playing to the crowd. I think you motherfuckers feel good too. She came up to me. The other day, and she's like, "Dad, I know there's like white privilege, but is there such thing as black privilege?" And I didn't know how to answer that, right? Like I'd never had to think about that before. I'm like, is there black privilege? Like I don't know, right? And then the other day, I'm heading down the street with one of my brethren. He's a Jamaican. His name is Junior, and we're walking down the street, and we're gonna go meet some people. And Junior turns to me, he's like, "Yo, GP, I'm gonna have to return this product to the store. I'm gonna get my money back. I'm gonna return it. Do you mind if we stop off?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, it's on the way, right?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm on." So I was like, "All right, cool." So we get into the store. And he walks up to the counter, and there's a white dude behind the counter. I'm just telling you that for context for the story, right? So he puts the product down. He's like, "Yeah, I'll return this $200 up here for it. I don't want it anymore. I don't want to get my money back." And the guy's like, "Well, do you have a receipt?" And then he's like, "No, I'm not a receipt. I don't want to get my money back." He's like, "All right, take it easy. You just consult with my manager." And he talks to the manager. A couple minutes, comes back, and he's like, "No problem, sir." And he takes the product, puts it to the side, and he ching, and he starts counting out the money. 2046 gets the $200, and he's like, "You have a great day, sir." And we're walking out, and then I realized what black privilege was, because as we were about to walk out, I overheard the dude behind the counter go, "We don't even sell that here." So say with your chest and some bass in your voice. That's what black privilege is. So. Fuck you, that's my favorite joke to tell. I don't need your approval. Shit just makes me laugh all the time. When the whole George Floyd shit thing happened, you know what was funny was the white guilt. My friends, man, my didn't realize that my white friends felt that guilty. Like they called me more than Indian duck cleaning fucking services, man. Is there anything that I might have said over the years? I just want to say I'm sorry. The time we didn't let you come to the cottage, it wasn't personal. It was just a matter of space. It was the best. I loved it. No word of a lie, my son turns 13 on Tuesday, man. Yeah. Yeah, if you clap loud, he's in the car. He's need to hurry this up. I'm kidding. Turns 13. It's great. He looks like Felix Auger Aliassime. Looks almost exact same big fucking ears and high top. I love being a dad. I didn't think I would. I didn't think I'd enjoy being a parent because you see other parents and you realize like how much time it fucking takes up, right? Like it's a lot of responsibility. Like when people are like, "Happy birthday!" I don't even celebrate happy birthday. I celebrate I'm happy I kept your black ass alive this long day. Like that's what I'm celebrating. It's like, you can do your birthday shit, but I can't believe that we actually kept you alive this long. Like, this is crazy. I can't even keep plants, let alone feed a child. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I think I'm a better dad I think I'm a better parent than my wife, though. I really do. I think I'm a new age dad. I'm one of those dudes who like I know not to like yell down on my kids because I'm taller. It might give them a complex. I don't do that shit. Like I know to get down to their eye level and reason with them. Hey, buddy, you want to talk about what we just did over there? I'm that guy, which is way different than my wife, who's like I said, complete island lady. Like she goes from 0 to let's just kill the fucking children immediately. Right? There's no in between. There's no stop off. It's just straight from 0 to let's just fucking kill the children. We can't kill the children. She's like, yes, we can. I have a pum pum. We could make more. I don't think you understand how this thing works. You know what I love being married to most of anything is the fact that I just love Caribbean women. I'm not saying I don't like other women. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying the reason I love them is they got their own energy. They're beautiful. They're intelligent. You know, I mean, they got this style. It's great. But the only complaint that I have is they have zero inner monologue. Like whatever pops into a Caribbean woman's head slides right out of her fucking mouth immediately, right? No hesitation. Like I like to dress myself, right? I like to think I have a decent sense of style. At least I do, and I own whatever choices I make. So I'm like, I'm fucking gonna be an alley. I'm going downtown. I'll go with the Canadian tuxedo, right? So I had the jean jacket and I had the jeans on to complete, but I had the ones with the rips, the distressed jeans, right? The ones that everyone's wearing these days. I'm coming down the stairs and she catches me. She's like, why are you wearing those pants? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, why are you wearing those pants? I'm like, because I got to do the alley, Life Vikings with Lars. She's like, yeah, I understand all of that, but why are you wearing those pants? And I'd had enough because now you're just fucking questioning, my choices, right? So I'm like, you know what? Because this is fashion. This is what fashion looks like. And without missing a beat, she's like, that's not fashion. That just looks like you don't know how to climb a fucking fence. That's what it looks like. You look like a jackass. So I decided to put on track pants in protest because I know it would show a little bit of in the front, right? So I was like, fuck this. I'll let other women objectify me through humor. Ladies, my jokes are up here. Thank you, guys. This is nice. I didn't think I'd enjoy performing in an alley, but what a couple puffs off a joint will do for your disposition. So, kidding. I'm having a good time. I'm fucking out. I gotta drive back to Ajax. But next time I come back down, fuck you, man. I own property. Yeah. 2 biggest words I learned in my entire life were home equity. That's the shit I learned. I was like, wait a minute. I could take money to buy more fucking houses to have other people pay my mortgage for me? Like, why aren't people telling people this more often? Like, I look at things differently now. Now that I own real estate, I look at shit way different. Like before, I used to drive by a crack house and be like, oh, look at this, just ruining the value of this neighborhood. But now that I own investment properties, I drive by a crack house. It's like, man, you know how cheap I could get that and flip that shit for? $1 million in that motherfucker. Ugh. Here's what I'm gonna say, man. I really do like that people seem to try to be a little more open to other cultures and races and shit, lately over the last 18 months seems a little accelerated, right? And here's my thing with racism. Like I said, I know it exists. I'm not a fucking idiot. I just don't buy into it because it's not an exact science, right? I don't expect everybody to know everything about everybody. I just don't. There's way too many questions in life. Like a big question, can Hindu rappers really have beef? That's a real fucking question. Right? Another question is just how confused are dyslexics in the LGBTQ community? That can't be easy. Right? Fuck you, that's a way better joke than you're giving your credit for. It's got nothing to do with their preference. They just don't know where the letters go. You know what the real hate crime is? Whoever came up with the word list is a fucking asshole. Because if you have a list, you actually got to say the word. How fucked up is that to do to a whole demographic of people, right? It's like, hey, man, why you talking like that? Man, you know I got a list. A what? A list? You could damn well put a hard R in the middle of that shit. He's like, hey, man, why you talk like that? Man, I got a lerp. I could say that shit with confidence, not spit on anybody. I find now we're going above and beyond trying to make everybody feel comfortable. You can't make everybody feel comfortable 24 hours because then you learn nothing, man. It's got to be balance in life. Bad shit's got to happen to you for you to be able to appreciate the good shit in your life, right? Like you can't just fucking push all the garbage away and hope that no one's eventually going to fucking smell the shit. We just got to learn and push our way through this shit, man. That's the way I see it. Like there's too much. Sometimes everything doesn't need to be represented. Like everything. Like I like seeing people that look like me on screen. Like when Black Panther came out, man, I ain't gonna lie. I thought I was the most African motherfucker in the entire world. Yeah, I mean, I don't even like fufu, but I'm like, fuck this. I feel African as shit, right? But then lately, I don't know if you guys have seen this story. They were trying to do a movie remake of Superman and make him Black Superman. It was going to be Michael B. Jordan, who actually played Killmonger and Creed and all that kind of shit, the good-looking actor dude. They were thinking of making him Black Superman. And I was like, nah, we don't need it. It's unnecessary. We don't need a Black Superman. And it's not like I don't think that Superman can't be Black. That's not what I'm saying. The world is ready for a Black Superman, but the employment world's not really ready for a Black Superman, right? Because let's be real. White Superman had a job, could just walk off for hours at a time, come back, and nobody said shit to Clark. Let that be Jamal Kent. Let him be 17 minutes late from his lunch. Jamal, you want to come into the office? Tell me where you've been for the last time. This is going to sound weird, boss. I was out trying to save the world. Well, you should have been here trying to save your job. That's what you should have been trying to do. Get your shit, back it up. Anyone seen Clark? Just like there doesn't need to be a Black Wonder Years. I mean, how wondrous were those years for Black people in the 60s? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm getting at. Too much. Too soon? Too soon on that one? Go back talking about the nice stuff. Fuck that. I live in Ajax. Sometimes I got to keep this shit real. You know who I feel most for in this pandemic? Two people. The dudes who used to work in strip club bathrooms. Where are they now? That's what I want to know. Yeah, see, right? No one ever thinks about them. How the fuck do you pivot from that? And the other people I felt for in this pandemic and the lockdown were side chicks. So, like, how the fuck is that going to work? You know what I mean? No one can leave the fucking house. It's like, bitch, don't call me. Nobody can leave. All right. I've been on here long enough. This has been nice. I really enjoyed this. You might not have, but I really did. It was great for me. So, more? No, that's good. Vote on Monday. Vote on Monday. We got elections. If you haven't already done your civic duty, please do it. Vote. I don't give a shit who you vote for. Just vote for somebody. And I'm glad the elections will be over because I hate watching the campaign. You know what I mean? Because I still don't even know who I'm really to vote for. I still don't know. But the reason I hate campaigning because it just reminds me of like all those real creepy motherfuckers at the end of a club, all trying to like pick up the same chick, hoping to fuck at the end of the night. You know what I mean? Rolling up on her, going, so climate change. That's. Can I talk to you about climate change? Can I do that? No vaccine. It's just gross. But if I was leaning towards anybody, just because I don't know any of the issues, it would be Trudeau. I don't give a fuck what you say. Here's my reasoning. Here's my reasoning. Here's my reason. My reasoning is just think about it, man. No one is giving this dude any tip of the hat. 3 months before this pandemic hit, this motherfucker legalized weed. Man, think about it. If you thought you were stressed out now. Exactly. Try buying weed in a fucking lockdown pandemic and it's illegal. Nobody wants to line up at their dealer's house and have to wipe that shit down with Lysol wipes. Nobody. And are you one of those motherfuckers? You know why I don't buy into conspiracies? Because you can't get 4 people to keep a fucking secret, let alone a whole bunch of fucking world leaders. Are you kidding me? Fuck you talking about? Nobody can keep a fucking secret. I'll be trying to Instagram live that shit first. Is this what's happening? Is that 4G? 4G, motherfucker. Retweet. It's funny. I used to like telling people I was from Trinidad and Tobago until a couple days ago. We used to be known for the steel pan and calypso. Now, thanks to Nicki Minaj, we're known for, some cousin's friend having swollen fucking balls. That is the saddest thing in the entire world. Here's the good news out of that bad news, though. I didn't know that it had a term. It's called orchitis, apparently. So when your balls swell up, it's called orchitis. Sounds cool, though. I'd rather tell someone I had a bout of the orchitis. It's like, man, my balls swole up. Nobody wants that. I don't even know what else I was going to tell you guys. Since you guys want me to stay. You guys want me to tell me actual jokes, or you guys mind if I try out some new shit? I've been doing a lot of new shit up here anyway, so. Cultural racism, no, done that. Did that. Oh, fuck it. I'll tell him. My wife's going through early menopause. Yes. It's weird. So we'll be in bed and then she'll like hot flash, cold, hot flash, cold, hot flash, cold, which is kind of weird because it's like trying to fuck a mutant that just got their powers. Thank you. All right. I'll keep that. That was a new one. There's some other ones to go with, but I won't do it. Did that. Oh, okay. Pretend this is natural. So that's the. I really am glad. I'm serious when I say this. I really am glad to be performing for real live people. I know there's like people watching online because it's streaming, but it's different because when we were in lockdown, I actually had to do like virtual shows in front of a fucking camera, and like I had to do a lot of them because we just couldn't leave and go anywhere, right? And it was weird because I started to feel less like a comedian and more like a comic sex worker. I was like, ooh, what kind of jokes do you like? Political. Silly humor for you. Okay. Kind of. All right. I'm happy. I think the Blue Jays lost, but I'm hoping we continue to make the playoffs. Please support our local teams. I just didn't wear a hat because Lars was wearing his, so I decided to go with the Expo. Still Canadian, still rocking it, and it's red. Looks cool. At least I think it does. The Raptors are coming home. I'm very happy about that. I'm really happy about that because I still think we are the last champions, the last real organic NBA champions. The other two past ones were all in a fucking bubble. Nobody gives a shit about that. You know what I mean? We're the last real fucking champions, man. And I'm still gonna rock that like that. I still feel good. I still feel like we're the current champions. You know what I mean? And it was such a beautiful thing because, like I said, I grew up just blocks from here. Never in a million years did I think we would win an NBA championship, as a city, like the Raptors, for real, like purple dinosaurs. Like, I never thought that shit. Purple dinosaurs are shit you find in Flintstones vitamin chewables. Like, not winning NBA championships, man. And I remember that day. It was great. I remember the day of the parade. I would like to believe that most of us here went down to the parade. I would love to believe that, right? Yeah, man. It was a historic day. Remember it like it was yesterday. Temperature was beautiful. It was sunny. I took the GO train down with my wife and my kids because I wanted to experience this with them. And I remember being on the GO train, and I had like this backpack on, and inside the backpack were like snacks and water and sunblock and a little mat in case they wanted to sit down on the ground kind of shit, right? And I remember with the backpack and the window was changing the views of like Lake Ontario, and it's like, and I remember having this Zen moment, and I was looking at my wife and looking at my kids and thinking, man, this is easily the whitest shit I've ever done with my family. And then we get down to Union Station. Like I said, it was perfect weather. It wasn't too hot. You know what I mean? You can smell weed in the air. People are high-fiving and shit, and everyone's like got Raptor gear. And we get down to City Hall, and there's like speeches and music and entertainment and shit. And I was like, this is beautiful. And then out of nowhere, just pop, 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 pop. Gunshots started going off, and we're like hopping over baby strollers, and I'm pushing my wife and kids' heads down. And I remember looking at them thinking, man, this is easily the blackest shit I've ever done with my family. But I also don't want you to think that I'm just saying only black people shoot, because that is not true. White people, you guys shoot just as much as we do, if not more. You guys sometimes go Costco size. Whenever white people start shooting, sometimes it's like a shitty magician's card trick. It's like, pick a school, any school, any school. Fuck you guys. Don't act like you don't see that shit on the news. Oh, fuck y'all. You know what I mean? Should have let me stop when I wanted to. So this is my, I'm gonna say this has been my last thing. I get the fuck out of here. You guys have really been pretty cool to let me come out. And like I said, catch that fucking ride home. I want to smoke a joint and a cigar. Got a little bit of wine. What kind of wine are you guys drinking?
From downstairs.
What brand? Who makes that? Australia? Is that a Chardonnay?
Right next door.
Just kidding. What kind of wine, motherfucker?
Follow the white rabbit hole.
Is it a Chardonnay, a fucking Sab Cab, a Cab Sab, a fucking Syrah, a Malbec?
Chardonnay. It's 64%. They said fucking vinegar.
You know what I love? The fact that clearly you guys are just drinking this shit to get drunk. You guys are not aficionados at all. Like, I don't care what the dick looks like. I just want it inside. It's from downstairs. It's called Follow the Yellow Rabbit. What you call your dick?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You guys are hilarious. What happened? What I miss? What I miss?
You made the dick joke.
Oh, just as soon as I made He points at you. I'm not even going to touch this because one, I got nowhere to run or climb, and your shirt looks like it was spray painted on you. That's how fucking tight your shit is with your fucking bicep. Are you? No, not that kind of show. We are in the wrong alley for that shit. This is exactly how fucking Batman lost his parents. All right. So I'm going to put the cap back on my water. Put my cigars away. Get ready to run. Distraction. So here's how I say we combat racism. This is what I'm closing on. This is how I say we combat racism. You know how we have days for like every other stupid fucking thing? It's National Puppy Day. It's the puppies. It's National Grandparents Day. It's a picture of my grandpappy. All these kind of, it's Blue Ribbon Day. You know what we should have? Fuck somebody from a different race day. That's what we need. International fuck somebody else from a different race day and realize that we all like to fuck and have sex and do all sorts of nasty shit to each other. Unlike Rachelle, we might not eat anyone's asses, but you know what I mean. But I think we should all have to fuck in our lifetime someone from a different race, and I think the world would be that much of a better place. So also, fuck Harv, he's brown, so he clearly needs some quality white pussy. So. I say the girls with the wine. Anyway, my name's been John Paul. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you for supporting comedy. Thank you for letting me come out to the alley, and have a great weekend, man. Go Chase, go.
John Paul, everyone. John Paul, yeah. Thank you so much. Bonus time. He gave you bonus time. All right. That brings our night to a close. One more time for John Paul. You saw Rachelle Lauzon. You saw Harv Khatow, and you also saw Gillian Bartolucci. We have run out of time. We have no more time for Luna the Wonder Pug was going to juggle flaming chainsaws. She is no longer. You'll have to come back tomorrow night. We do it every Friday, Saturday. Tomorrow there's only 4 tickets left, so if you want to come back for a brand new lineup, you can do that. I promised prizes, though, ladies and gentlemen. Every show we give out a prize for the MVP who held it down. The rock solid audience member. Crazy Amy's flailing back there like she's gonna get it. And we also give an MVG for most valuable group. So there's 2 things. We talked about it, and we took, believe it or not, we did an online poll, very sophisticated. Deloitte & Touche, they were overseeing everything. And we have this, I'm going to show you. This is a brand new Laughing Vikings t-shirt. This is swag. Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. It's going to James for holding down the front row with Emmers. There you go. You're the MVP, most valuable audience. MVP. Emmers has already claimed it. That's her PJ shirt from now on. Yes. And I'm going to give it, we have a grand prize. You want to know what the prize is? It's a trip for 2, a Caribbean cruise. What's that? Sorry, the BK Broiler, our DJ, says we are out of cruises. But we do have this official rubber fart machine. Yeah, and guess what, ladies? Guess what? I was corrected. The MVG, the group, you guys split it. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, you guys figure it out. Odds and evens, pass it around. Okay, wait. This is, we gave away the first one, and I was corrected, understandably so. I was corrected. A lovely, strong, empowered female yelled back at me, and she said, "How do you know it's a fart machine and not a queef machine?" So give it up. You're the brand new winners of a queef machine. And then it's now on the floor. Guys, I want to share one last thing. I literally love doing this. So thank all of you for coming out tonight. Thank you for supporting live entertainment and live art. One thing I want to recognize before we go, and this is not going to be comedic at all, but it will transition into being comedic, is we lost a fucking titan legend, everyone's favorite in the comedy world. If you were a fan of him, hopefully you were. If you weren't, you will be by the end of tonight. Let's make some noise for Norm fucking MacDonald. Yeah. I almost met him once. I want to tell you a story about my one and only Norm story. And the story is not about how I almost met him. A buddy of mine, Jeff Leeson, did a show open for him at the Grand Theatre in London, Ontario. So when they went to the green room, I was just outside the green room, close enough I could kind of feel his presence in there. I could smell the food he was eating, but it was pre-show, so I wasn't going to bother him. So that's not my Norm story. My Norm story, and I think this is the reason that live entertainment and comedy is important, and this is the reason I want to thank you guys for coming tonight. The day after Norm died, like many comedians and maybe like many people, I just fucking binge watched every couch segment on every late night show. I listened to his stand-up, and specifically, I was down at Cherry Beach. I took Luna, and this is like literally one of the most profound like times of my life. I'm walking my dog. It was a fucking perfect day, clear like heaven on earth, blue skies, sunny, picture perfect beach day. I'm there with my dog, and I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to listen to some of Norm MacDonald's stand-up. And so I'm walking around in fucking heaven in my life, thinking like heaven on earth, listening to the words of a dead man who I almost met but always fucking revered. And I would hear a punchline. I had him in earbuds. So I'm walking around, and you know when people have earbuds on and you're like, is this a crazy person or is this guy on a Bluetooth thing? And so I would burst out into laughter. I don't know if you've ever been on an airplane where someone's watching a movie and they're just maniacally laughing. You're like, what the fuck are they watching? So I'm down there. It was one of the most profound things in my life where I'm listening to Norm MacDonald and I'm like laughing out loud, like like the way you do when someone makes you laugh, just bursting out of energy like out of nowhere. And immediately, like I would laugh and then I would immediately cry. So I'm like, this dead man recorded these hilarious words, and God fucking bless comedians for spending their entire life traveling around just to make people happy and to bring joy to people. And I'm there listening to his words. He's simultaneously making me laugh with joy and then like crumple with just the feeling of his loss. And I'm like, man, that is fucking life right there. I'm in one fucking moment laughing, pure joy, and then feeling the crush of death, life, death, life, death. And the most beautiful fucking thing happened. I laughed out loud. I'm walking my dog along the beach. I laugh out loud, and I hear a few people away from me just from my laugh, just from the infectiousness of my laugh. They laugh at me. They hear me laughing. They laugh. We're all weird laughing. I'm laugh crying. Norm Macdonald's in my fucking ear, and I'm like, this is fucking beautiful. This man is dead, but he took the time to record his hilarious fucking voice. He's affecting me. I'm affecting strangers. It was the perfect fucking moment, and I think that's the reason comedy and entertainment and arts needs to exist. And thank you guys for coming out here tonight to support this. And one more time for Norm Macdonald. We're going to do something really... Turd Ferguson, give it up for Turd fucking Ferguson, all right? We're going to do something special here. You're welcome to stick around for a few minutes. We're going to let Norm Macdonald headline another show. We're just going to throw it on. This is from Norm Macdonald, and this is his stand-up special, his album called Me Doing Stand-Up. This is specifically about life and death. I think it's about 5 to 10 minutes. So I would suggest sticking around, but if you got to go, go. But one more time, here's Norm Macdonald.
My sister's kid is tattooed from his head down to his toes. He claims trouble follows him everywhere he goes. He's such a lazy, loafing, good for nothing and slob. But still he thinks I ought to give his sorry ass a job. Yeah, people and their problems are giving me a pain. People and their problems are messing with my brain. I try to help them some, but it's still the same. People.
Thanks for coming out. The great San Francisco, greatest city, and the amazing Fillmore, and the unbelievable. You be alive. You know what I mean? That's what I say. That's what I like. That I find that to be the goodest thing there is. To be alive. And the reason it's so good is because it's so bad to be dead. It's not like life's so fucking great, but compared to being smothered in earth. So I just, every day I'm happy. That's my goal in life, is not to, everybody need a goal. And so that's my New Year's resolution every year. I go, I'm not going to die. I think actually scientists should kind of look into that whole death thing, because they seem to focus on diseases. And I don't give a fuck about them, because the guy go, hey, you got we fixed your arthritis, and they go, I'm still gonna die. They go, yeah. So that, I think, is the biggest problem. That's why I can't get behind politicians, because they're always like, our biggest problem today is unemployment. And I'm like, what about getting old and sick and dying? And they usher me out the back way, but seriously, if there was a politician ever that said, by my second term, there will be no death, I go, I'm voting for that fucker. I'd just give that guy all my money, and I'd sit on a chair. Sometimes I actually think I won't die. You ever think that? You go, fuck it, I'm not dying. But in your mind, when you analyze, you realize, like my dad died, and my grandfather died, and my great grandfather died, and the guy before him, I don't know, probably died. I think he died, because otherwise he'd be on Extra. No, I come from a long line of death. That's my point. And so I fear it, I fear it a lot. And I think most of us do. But it's funny, like what we fear, how we're going to die. It's always the ways we don't die. You know what I mean? Like we go, God damn, I hope a polar bear doesn't eat me, or some crazy shit, Or I hope an airplane, I got an airplane today. And every time you get out of an airplane, you go, I hope I don't die. But you never die in an airplane. Ridiculous. You go, I hope a terrorist does not attack and kill me. I hope that doesn't happen. You're always afraid of that. But you think about it, what's the odds that a terrorist will attack and kill you? Almost zero, But what are the odds that you will be attacked and killed by your own heart? It's about 100%, I think. Heart's not good. People think it is, but it isn't. People like hearts. They go, here's a Valentine's heart. You go, oh, yeah. You go, that guy's got a big heart. I go, you better fucking watch it then, because an attack and kill him. I don't know if he knows that. That's what got my dad, his heart attacked and killed him. And he was lying on his bed and boom, dead on the floor. As they said, it was instantly. And my dad, he wasn't expecting. He was looking for fucking Arabs and shit. And his heart attacked and killed him. And he was dead like instantaneously. And sad. We were all sad. When something like that happens, people just try to make you feel better. They'll say anything, One guy said to me, don't worry, Norm. He died in his sleep. He didn't feel a thing. And I was like, really? When his heart attacked and killed him, he didn't? Because I wake up like if my cat walks across my belly. You know what I mean? I don't know if my dad was that sound asleep. One guy said he's in a better place. I said he's on the floor. Dead. Earlier, he was alive on the bed. With that Tempur-Pedic pillow I bought him for Christmas. I'm no physician, but I think that's the better place over there. On the bed. Your only chance if you have a heart attack is if they get there early enough. They have these things called defibrillators. And what they do is they attack your heart. That's all the heart understands is violence, And so they get there early. They go, and then your heart's like, I wasn't going to kill him. That's funny that you thought that. I was just worried he was eating too much eggs and shit. You actually get defibrillators. I urge you to get them, because you can get them. I ordered them, you get them, and then you can teach your loved ones how to use them on you. And they even show how you use them on yourself. And so I sent away for them. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. As soon as I get the box, I am going to preemptively attack my heart. And before it does anything, I'll just be like, my heart's like, well, I didn't do anything. You go, fucking right, son, you're not going to. On account I'm carrying around these fuckers with me wherever I go. I think I'll go on a roller coaster now. Eat an egg. But that's all that'll get you, a heart attack or cancer. That's the other thing, My Uncle Bert, he's my great uncle, but we call him Uncle Bert. He got bowel cancer now. He's dying of it, And or like some people like to say, now they see in the old days, a man could just get sick and die, Now they have to wage a battle. So my Uncle Bert is waging a courageous battle, which I've seen because I go and visit him. And this is the battle. He's lying in a hospital bed, with a thing in his arm watching Matlock on the TV. Instead of that battle, I got him the box set of Matlock. That's not his fault. What the fuck's he supposed to do? I guess it's just a black thing in his bowel. And the reason I don't like it is because in the old days they go, hey, that old man died. Now they go, hey, he lost his battle. That's no way to end your life. You know? What a loser that guy was. Last thing he did was lose. He was waging a brave battle, but at the end, I guess he got kind of cowardly with what happened. And then the bowel cancer, it got brave. You got to give it to the bowel cancer. You know, they were in a battle, and then what the fuck? And I'm pretty sure, I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure if the cancer dies, I mean, if you die, the cancer also dies at exactly the same time. So that, to me, is not a loss, that's a draw. That's a, you know what I mean? It's not like fucking the cancer's gonna jump up and go, I'm fucking Uncle Bert's wife. Where is he? I won fair and square. This where he works? Hi, name's Cancer. How are you? Where do I? You just throw me to my cubicle. Bowel. First name is Bowel. Oh, man, I wouldn't have no brave battle when I'm fucking dying. I'll tell you this, because I'm not brave. So when the fucking sickle of death is over my goddamn neck, I'm going to be so cowardly. I'm afraid of going on Ferris wheels and shit. You know? I'm not going to be brave. I don't care how old I am. I could be 94. I'll be like, oh, please, oh, take my grandson. Oh, he's young and fresh. I'd gladly make a deal with the devil if there's any. I've read that in literature. Oh, anything, please. Now, listen, man, I like the news. You guys like the news? I always watch the news, and I'll tell you something about the news. I don't understand it. But it's for some reason I watch it. I don't even know why. But I think I'm supposed to or something. So I'll watch it, and then the guy will come on and he'll go, anyways, today the deficit. And I'll go, I've heard that word. And the guy goes, today the Dow Jones NASDAQ Composite Index is down. And then I go, that's not good. Down. Up. I like when it's up. That's my opinion on that. Seems like there's too much news, because now they have 24-hour news. Now, when I was a young boy, the news was half an hour. That was the whole news, And a guy would come on and he'd have a tie, and he would say the news. And it was a half an hour long. Now, it's 24 hours long. Now, it turns out that back in the old days when it was only half an hour, they had it about right. That's about all the news there is. Even then, there'd always be like some fucking story at the end about a caribou or some horse shit. So there wasn't even enough to fill the half an hour. But 24 hours, way too long. So they have to keep repeating stories all the time and everything, and make up stories, They do that a lot, make up things that aren't really news stories, but they have to, fill the 24 hours, And the one I noticed that they make up a lot, this is the latest one I've seen. I see this all the time on the news. The newsman will come on, he'll go, good evening, everybody. This is the newsman, whatever he says. He's not going to say it. And he goes, our top story tonight, a lady has vanished. That's the story. And then he goes, let's go outside where there's another guy. So then they cut to outside. then there's a guy outside, and he's like, "Hey, listen, how's it going inside?" We're outside, and we found out about this lady that vanished. Her name was Janice, and they found her car here in the Taco Bell parking lot. And don't worry about the car; it's fine. But can't find hiding her hair of the lady. Oh, back to you. So then you're watching, you go, "Well, I don't give a fuck on account I never knew Janice in the first place." Matter of fact, I'm kind of happy it's Janice and not somebody I know.